Morena koutou. Welcome to Tawa School Story Time for Monday the 20th of April. Great to see you. I hope you've all had a good weekend and managed to get out and get some walks in or play some games outside or what have you. Today we're going to be reading a Margaret Mahy book, A Summery Saturday Morning, and then we're going to continue on with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. All right. We'll start off with A Summery Saturday Morning, written by Margaret Mahy, a well-known New Zealand author. All right, here we go. We take the dogs down the wiggly track. The wiggly track, the wiggly track. One dog's white, the other dog's black on a summery Saturday morning. Bad dogs, chase the cat, chase the cat, chase the cat. One dog's thin, the other dog's fat, one summery Saturday morning. They chase the boy on the rattly bike, the rattly bike, the rattly bike. Chasing things is what dogs like on a summery Saturday morning. Large grass grows on the edge of the sea, the edge of the sea, the edge of the sea. The wind is blowing wild and free on a summery Saturday morning. A goose looks out of the tangled green, the tangled green, the tangled green. Her neck is long and her eye is mean on a summery Saturday morning. Another goose, and then another, then another, then another. 7 sleek sisters out with mother on a summery Saturday morning. The geese begin to run away, run away, run away. The dogs run too. They want to play on a summery Saturday morning. We run too to catch the dogs, to catch the dogs, to catch the dogs, scattering shells and leaping logs on a summery Saturday morning. The mud begins to guggly wugs. It's guggly wugs. It's guggly wugs. Our sandals slide like sluggly wugs on a summery Saturday morning. The geese turn round and flap and hiss, flap and hiss, flap and hiss. The dogs were not expecting this on a summery Saturday morning. The geese begin to chase us back, chase us back, chase us back out of the mud and up the track on a summery Saturday morning. If you want to walk in peace, walk in peace, walk in peace. Don't let your dogs upset the geese on a summery Saturday morning. Looking forward to when we can have some summery, maybe not summery, but maybe autumny Saturday mornings and heading down to the beach and everything as well. Awesome. We're going to continue on with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We're up to chapter 5. The very last line from the last chapter said this: Wonka Factory to be opened at last to lucky few. Chapter 5, the golden tickets. You mean people are actually allowed to be inside the factory? Cried Grandpa Joe. Read us. What does it say? Quickly. All right, said Mr. Bucket, smoothing out the newspaper. Listen. Evening bulletin. Mr. Willy Wonka, the confectionery genius whom nobody has seen in the last 10 years, sent out the following notice today. I, Willy Wonka, have decided to allow 5 children, just 5, mind you, and no more, to visit my factory this year. These lucky 5 will be shown around personally by me, and they will be allowed to see all the secrets and magic of my factory. Then at the end of the tour, as a special present, all of them will be given enough chocolate and sweets to last them for the rest of their lives. So watch out for the golden tickets. 5 golden tickets have been printed on golden paper, and these 5 golden tickets have been hidden underneath the wrappers of ordinary chocolate bars. Those 5 bars may be anywhere, in any shop, in any street, in any town, in any country in the world, upon any counter where Wonka's sweets are sold, and the 5 lucky finders of these 5 golden tickets are the only ones who will be allowed to visit my factory and see what it's like now inside. Good luck to you all and happy hunting. Signed, Willy Wonka. The man's Dotty! muttered Grandpa Josephine. "Oh, he's brilliant!" cried Grandpa Joe. "He's a magician. Just imagine what will happen now. The whole world will be searching for these golden tickets. Everyone will be buying Wonka's chocolate bars in the hope of finding one. He'll sell more than ever before. Oh, how exciting it would be to find one." "They'd have to deliver them in a truck," said Grandma Georgina. "Makes me quite ill thinking of it," said Grandma Josephine. "Nonsense," cried Grandpa Joe. "Wouldn't it be something, Charlie, to open a bar of chocolate and see a golden ticket glistening inside?" "It certainly would, Grandpa, but there isn't any hope," Charlie said sadly. "I only get one a year." "You never know, darling," said Grandma Georgina. "It's your birthday next week. You have as much chance as anybody else." "I'm afraid that simply isn't true," said Grandpa George. "The kids who are going to find golden tickets are the ones who can afford to buy chocolate bars every day. Our Charlie only gets one a year. There isn't a hope." The first two finders. The very next day, the first golden ticket was found. The finder was a boy called Augustus Gloop, and Mr. Bucket's evening paper carried a large picture of him on the front page. The picture showed a 9-year-old boy who was so enormously fat he looked as though he had been blown up with a powerful pump. Great flabby folds of fat bulged out from every part of his body, and his face was like a monstrous ball of dough with two small, greedy, curranty eyes peering out upon the world. The town in which Augustus Gloop lived, the newspaper said, had gone wild with excitement over their hero. Flags were flying from all the windows. Children had been given a holiday from school, and a parade was being organized in honor of the famous youth. "I just knew Augustus would find a golden ticket," his mother had told the newspaper men. "He eats so many bars of chocolate a day that it's almost impossible for him not to find one. Eating is his hobby, that's all he's interested in. It's still that's better than being a hooligan and shooting off zip guns and things like that in his spare time, isn't it? And what I always say is this: he wouldn't go on eating like he does unless he needed nourishment, would he? It's all vitamins. Anyway, what a thrill it would be for him to visit Mr. Wonka's chocolate factory. Well, we're all just so proud as anything." "What a revolting woman," said Grandma Josephine. "And what a repulsive boy," said Grandma Georgina. "Only 4 golden tickets now left," said Grandpa George. "I wonder who'll get those." And now the whole country, indeed, the whole world, seemed suddenly caught up in a mad chocolate buying spree. Everybody searching frantically for those precious remaining tickets. Fully grown women were seen going into sweet shops and buying 10 Wonka bars at a time, then tearing off the wrappers on the spot and peering eagerly underneath for a glint of golden paper. Children were taking hammers and smashing their piggy banks and running out of the shops with handfuls of money. In one city, a famous gangster robbed a bank of £1,000 and spent the whole lot on Wonka bars that same afternoon. And when the police entered his house to arrest him, they found him sitting on the floor amidst mountains of chocolate, ripping off the wrappers with a blade of a long dagger. In far-off Russia, a woman named Charlotte Russe claimed to be found the second ticket, but it turned out to be a clever fake. The famous English scientist Professor Foulbody invented a machine that would tell you at once, without opening the wrapper of a bar, whether or not there was a golden ticket hidden underneath it. The machine had a mechanical arm that shot out with tremendous force and grabbed hold of anything that had the slightest bit of gold inside it, and for a moment it looked like the answer to everything. But unfortunately, while the professor was showing off the machine to the public at the sweet counter of a large department store, the mechanical arm shot out and made a grab for the gold filling in the back tooth of a duchess who was standing nearby. There was an ugly scene, and this machine was smashed by the crowd. Suddenly, on the day before Charlie Bucket's birthday, the newspapers announced that the second golden ticket had been found. The lucky person was a small girl called Veruca Salt, who lived with her rich parents in a great city far away. Once again, Mr. Bucket's evening paper carried a picture of the little girl and her family. She was sitting between her beaming father and golden mother in the living room of their home, waving a golden ticket above her head and grinning from ear to ear. Veruca's father, Mr. Salt, had eagerly explained to the newspapermen exactly how the ticket was found. "You see, boys, he said. As soon as my little girl told me about this set, she simply had to have one of those golden tickets. I went out into town and started buying up all the Wonka bars I could lay my hands on. Thousands of them. I must have bought hundreds of thousands. Then I had them loaded onto trucks and sent directly to my own factory. I'm in the peanut business, you see, and I've got about 100 women working for me all over my place, shelling peanuts for roasting and salting. And that's what they'll do all day long. But now I said, okay, girls, from now on, you can stop shelling peanuts and start shelling the wrappers of these chocolate bars instead. And they did. I had every worker in the place yanking the paper off the bars of chocolate, full speed ahead from morning till night. 3 days went by and we had no luck. Oh, it was terrible. My little Veruca got more and more upset each day. And every time I went home, she would scream at me, "Where's my golden ticket? I want my golden ticket." And she would lie for hours on the floor, kicking and yelling in the most disturbing way. Well, I just hated to see my little girl feeling unhappy like that. So I vowed I would keep up the search until I got her what she wanted. Then suddenly, on the evening of the 4th day, one of my woman workers yelled, "I've got it, a golden ticket." And I said, "Give it to me quick." And she did. I rushed it home and gave it to darling Veruca, and now she's all smiles, and we have a happy home again. That's even worse than the fat boy, said Grandma Josephine. She needs a really good spanking, said Grandma Georgina. I don't think the girl's father played it quite fair, Grandpa. Do you? Grandpa Charlie murmured. He spoils her, Grandpa Joe said. And no good can ever come from spoiling a child like that. Charlie, you mark my words. Come to bed, my darling, said Charlie's mother. Tomorrow's your birthday. Don't forget that, so I expect you'll be up early to open your present. A Wonka chocolate bar, cried Charlie. Is it a Wonka bar? Yes, my love, his mother said. Of course it is. Wouldn't it be wonderful if I found the 3rd golden ticket inside, Charlie said. Bring it in here when you get it, Grandpa Joe said. Then we'll all watch you take off the wrapper. Chapter 7, Charlie's Birthday. Happy birthday, cried the 4 grandparents. As Charlie came into the room early the next morning, Charlie smiled nervously and sat down on the edge of the bed. He was holding his present, his only present, very carefully in his 2 hands. Wonka's Whipple Scrumptious Fudge Mellow Delight, it said on the wrapper. The 4 old people, 2 on either end of the bed, propped themselves up on their pillows and stared with anxious eyes at the bar of chocolate in Charlie's hands. Mr. and Mrs. Bucket came in and stood at the foot of the bed watching Charlie. The room became silent. Everyone was waiting now for Charlie to start opening the present. Charlie looked down at the bar of chocolate. He ran his fingers slowly back and forth along the length of it, stroking it lovingly, and the shiny paper wrapping made little sharp crackly noises in the quiet room. Then Mrs. Bucket said gently, "You mustn't be too disappointed, my darling, if you don't find what you've been looking for underneath the wrapper. You really can't expect to be that lucky at all." "She's quite right," said Mr. Bucket. Charlie didn't say anything. "After all," Grandma Josephine said, "in the whole wide world, there's only 3 tickets left to be found." "The thing to remember," Grandma Georgina said, "is that whatever happens, you'll still have the bar of chocolate." Wample's Whipple Scrumptious Fudge Mellow Delight, cried Grandpa Joe. "It's the best of them all. You'll just love it." "Yes," Charlie whispered, "I know." "Just forget all about the golden tickets and enjoy the chocolate," Grandpa Joe said. "Why don't you do that?" They all knew it was ridiculous to expect this one poor little bar of chocolate to have a magic ticket inside it. They were trying to gently and as kindly as they could prepare Charlie for the disappointment. But there was one other thing that the grown-ups also knew, and it was this, that however small the chance might be of striking it lucky, the chance was still there. The chance had to be there. This particular bar of chocolate had as much chance as any other of having a golden ticket. And that was why all the grandparents and parents in the room were actually just as tense and excited as Charlie was, although they were pretending to be very calm. You'd better go ahead and open it, or you'll be late for school," Grandpa Joe said. "You might as well get it over with," Grandpa George said. "Open it, my dear," Grandma Georgina said. "Please open it. You're making us jumpy." Very slowly, Charlie's fingers began to tear open the one small corner of wrapping paper. The old people in the bed all leaned forward, craning their scraggly necks. Then suddenly, as though he couldn't bear the suspense any longer, Charlie tore the wrapper right down the middle, and onto his lap there fell a light, creamy-coloured bar of chocolate. There was no golden ticket anywhere. Well, that's that, said Grandpa Joe brightly. It's just what we expected. Charlie looked up. Four kind old faces watching him intently from their bed. He smiled at them, a small, sad smile, and then he shrugged his shoulders and picked up the chocolate bar and held it out to his mother. Here, Mother, have a bit. We'll share it. I want everybody to taste it. Certainly not, his mother said. And the others all cried, No, no, we wouldn't dream of it. It's all yours. Please, begged Charlie, turning around and offering it to Grandpa Joe. But neither he nor anyone else would even take a tiny bit. It's time to go to school, my darling, Mrs. Bucket said, putting an arm around Charlie's skinny shoulders. Come on, or you'll be late. Chapter 8 is 2 more golden tickets found. And we're going to read more about that tomorrow. All right, well, hope you have a great day today. Do some fun learning from home, and we'll catch up tomorrow morning at the same time. Have a great day. Ka kite anō.